So we assume Jeremy's committed suicide, unfortunately, but we don't know. The next major scene you see is Joan. She's left this important leader they were talking to in Iraq in order, I guess, to gain safe passageway. I guess he had a lot of influence with the local townspeople. One of her soldiers had warned her that they don't take too kindly, I guess, to women in power. I mean, you got to remember over there, women aren't in that kind of power that Joan is in. So she's just left this building, and all of a sudden, firefighting begins. As far as guns, and one of the main soldiers, and I want to say it's the soldier. If you remember when Frank and Denise were going through their divorce, it was the soldier that Frank worked with that was telling him about his divorce and how it started out with Oprah, and then it started out with her needing her own space. I believe it was him that got shot, and you see Joan and another soldier grabbing or dragging him, but then you see a bomb go off, and that whole area where they were lights up in fire, and you're left to just not know what happened. Um, it's just as this is going on, Roland is reading Sarah Elizabeth. He's letting her watch the videos that Jonas recorded for her of her reading bedtime stories to her daughter. So it's just like really dramatic. One thing they did not leave us hanging with is that Roxy did manage to tell Trevor that she was pregnant, and he was thrilled. So that was good. So I guess that'll be the fun of next season. Hopefully, seeing how they deal with this pregnancy, what happens. Hopefully, they don't make anything too dramatic. Um, Now, what I didn't like about this episode, and I forgot to mention this, one of the reasons I hadn't been doing recaps is because as much of a big fan as I am, as much as I love this show, I mean, you're talking to the woman who stormed the set of Army Wives with no permission, okay? And I keep saying I'm going to give you that guy's that story. I am. I'm going to put the pictures up and everything. I just haven't felt like writing because it's long. But I just haven't been happy with the way the show's been going. I feel like it's almost jumped the shark. And for people who are like avid TV watchers and who research TV, because I'm probably the only weirdo that does that. I guess it just means jump the shark is like a TV term that's used to mean when a show just kind of goes from being somewhat realistic and decent to just jumping the shark and kind of just going off the deep end with a little bit weird storylines or it doesn't kind of make sense. And I won't say that their storylines don't make sense, but it's not what it was season one and like season two sort of. I mean, some people it was never realistic, but I feel like it was a little more. I don't know. Mm-mm. So anyway, I haven't been too happy with the shows, and season three was okay. The season finale yesterday was good, but what I did not like was that they pretty much took and put all the juicy stuff the last 7 minutes of the show. I mean, it comes on at 7 o'clock here Hawaiian time. 7:52 is when, and I hate to call it action because somebody committing suicide, that's not something I want to, oh, that was action. But when all the stuff that would make it a season finale, it was put the last 5 to 7 minutes of the show. So you kind of just left hanging. And I mean, they want you to hang, of course. But I feel like had they had spread it out amongst the show, then it would be like, okay, I don't know, it just maybe mentally you'd have a different feel of it. Because I sat and before I did this video, I'm on several message boards that have Army Wives threads that we talk every week about it. And of course, I have several friends who are Army Wives fans on Facebook who have said the same thing. Everybody, the same reaction. I was just left hanging. I was stunned. Like, people had no words. So, I don't know. I hope they do better next season. The other thing I'm disappointed about. Why is it that Army Wives is the only show that makes you wait like an entire year before you get to see this crap over again? Every other show they go off the air for maybe 2-3 months and then they come back and voila, you're back with your new episodes. Army Wives, apparently, let me tell you how long they're going to be off the air. Okay, and I'm a firm believer in OMSEC, so for all those who think I'm giving away dates and times, I'm not. But let's just put it like this. Okay, my husband just recently left. By the time those episodes come on, he should be back. Okay? So, it's just a long time, and it's like by that time I feel like you got to put everybody back into the mode again, and it's kind of been forgotten about, and all that stuff. So I don't know, but I'm happy with the way it ended. I feel like okay, it'll give us something to look forward to. I'm my predictions, and I want you guys to leave your comments. I want you to put your predictions of what you think is going to happen next season. Of course, realistically speaking, we know they can't kill both of those people off the show. I don't think they could. I mean, there would be no show really. Um, Going by the book, and this is what I want people to know. I read Tanya Bianca's book. Tanya Bianca is the one who wrote the book Under the Saber, which is where the show is pretty much. It's not. I wouldn't say based off of it, but the idea for the show came from the book. Tanya Bianca was a former reporter, I believe, in Fayetteville, who covered the series of summer murders at Fort Bragg when four soldiers basically, over a period of weeks, murdered their wives. Okay, when you read the book, um, you'll see that even though the characters have been changed, they took different characters, situations, and switched it around in the show. You'll see what happens. Okay, so let me just put it like this: in the book, okay, Jeremy does get killed. What would have been the son Jeremy, but the difference is he killed himself in Iraq. So that's where they change it. In the let me see. I don't want to give away her book, but let's just say, going by the show, let's go back to 2 seasons ago. The whole Maryland situation. In the book, if I'm correct, that situation was changed. It was actually, I believe, a black soldier who was a cook, and his wife. I don't know what happened. I don't know. Maybe she was messing around, but I don't remember that being in the book. But anyway, he won, and I want to say he set fire to the house. It was just different. So on the show, of course, that woman that in the book was a black woman was Marilyn on the show. And that's just what I mean when I say they changed some of the stories around. Like, for instance, they might have changed the rank. I could have swore that Jeremy in the book um, was the son of a higher ranking person than on the show. You see what I mean? Whereas Michael's the higher ranking person. But then again, Michael lost a daughter on the show, the Holden. So it's just a little bit different the way the characters are in the book. I love the book. I lived around the corner from the characters that would be based on Chase and Pam. They lived in a town outside of Fayetteville called Stedman. That's where my husband's from, and right around the corner is where the shooting took place. So I don't know. So hopefully I haven't given away too many spoilers. I probably did. I have a big mouth right now, but I'm a diehard fan of the show, and I know that some of you are, and you probably would want to know. But anyway, the book is available. It's at Amazon. It's by Tanya Bianca. I think that's how you pronounce her last name, and it's a good read, but it's based upon true accounts. So don't read into it too much because, like I said, the show is pretty much the idea for Army Wives, period, was taken from the book. But I don't want to say that, oh, everything in the book is going to be, because that's not the case. But leave your comments. If you have any questions, leave those too. If you want to correct me on maybe my recap, feel free, because I mean I was excited and I'm just talking and rambling. So leave your comments at the bottom, and come back to ArmyWife101.com. Bye bye.